Welcome to Baseball Blueprint, your home for all things player development.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another base stealing audit. We got about 59 reps to go over here. We don't have everything uploaded in Synergy yet, but the season's over for us. Ended up finishing with 171 stolen bases, which is a lot. The boys killed it this year. They were so good with the attention to detail that we were asking them and understanding what it looked like within a system. I was really happy with how they finished out. So we're going to take a look at this and kind of give you an idea of where we're at, what we were trying to do in what scenarios and stuff like that. So we got our broadcast angle from center field. Let's go high home so we can see everything here. We got Elliot Miles here at second base. Looks like he's working on a one look. Didn't get super lateral there, but his timing was okay. Really good slide to third. Got him the bag, so he came in safe there. See. Okay, so we got one of our late additions, Max Lime at second base. Ryan Foodie at first base following. He probably needs to be extended a little bit more if he wants to follow here, to be honest with you. But it looks like we're taking a shot. Not a bad shot. This pitcher is just really quick to the dish. And with a righty in the box, I don't hate that, but this swing kind of took our right-handed batter out of the play here. We had a low swing that kind of takes the catcher immediately behind the batter. Just leads him right into the throw. I mean, that was a heck of a play by that catcher. Just very unlucky for our runner. I think he gets in there if that's a standard pitch and catch, but that's all right. Let's see here. We've got Christian Reyna at the dish. That was an old school shot by Max Lime. He ended up getting in there safe. I talked to the umpire after this just to kind of get his thoughts on it. He was safe anyway because the ball got out. It turns out that if you receive the ball like this at second base, where your knee's in front of the runner during the catch, that we would get the base anyway, which is interesting. We didn't have that called at all this year, but just something to think about. Here's a new school shot. High throw. Really good slide by Mr. Minkler here. He ended up stealing like 23, 24 bases. He was pretty unreal this year. Conlon Daniel, he's still over 30. That's Minkler again, stealing third. I think that was that was the pitch. First pitch, or second pitch to Conlon Daniel, which is good. There's a delayed steal by Conlon Daniel. This was really good. Our scouting had this catcher kind of putting his head around the batter. And so what we were looking for was right when the catcher looked to put his head around the batter, we would take off. And we knew that was going to be a tough time to go. Here's an old school shot by Joey Pagano. We had this guy sequenced. He did not have the time here, per se, but we were running in a positional leverage here, and we felt like, okay, here comes a bender, and we knew this guy liked to go in the dirt with his knockout pitches, so we decided to flip the coin, and it ended up paying off pretty well. You kind of have to just go for the pick there if you're the catcher, too, so I respect it. Here's a dirt ball read we tried to expand on. I wasn't a huge fan of this. So my idea on dirt ball reads, and I know this is in contrast to a lot of people's, like, I love seeing space. Like, if we just see down angle, I feel like we have a better shot working our variety of techniques on most guys to get a base, instead of having to try to force that, like, kind of surprise down angle read as a runner. Catchers are so good anymore. Like, this guy just swallows this. Watch where this pitch hits. Like, It's not a traditional like backhand pick, but he just picks it really clean, pockets it, and throws our guy out, and it wasn't really that close of a play. So I think we can find a different way to do that and show aggression there. Here's one of the ways we can do that: force him to throw off his heels, right? And I think when you have an A jump and you're gaining ground immediately versus trying to see that flight and then going, when they throw off their heels, it's a much more difficult throw, especially with the burner like we've got here and Mink. That was a pretty good bag there. We're going to pause this. I'm going to switch this camera angle because we can't see from center. We're going to go right-handed pitcher open. Here's a delayed steal by Joey Barron. Full arm fake. Trying to hang up a runner at third. Good base running by him. This is a great lead. So this is Brendan Bucher. He's a catcher at Monmouth, and he's unreal. What he'll do a lot is, you can't really see it because the video cuts out. He'll show his old school lead, because right before these pitchers come set, they're always like peeking at our lead setup. He'll show his old school and then hybrid back to his new school. I mean, he just hits this about as clean as you could hit a new school lead, and he had that pretty easy. Catcher made a good throw too, and he was unsafe. Really, really good from Buke. He's a gamer. Let's see here. Looks like we got an old school shot on a lefty here. If we're going old school on a lefty, we've probably set him up with like a false step on a one-way for a couple pitches, or maybe that's what they're expecting of us. But you'll notice we're going first move here. This isn't going to be something where like we're trying to find a read window. If we are, it's on a very specific kind of guy. But that was a good shot there by Elliott Miles. Let's see what's next. Old school shot from Mr. Conlon. The kid just burns, man. There's just no need to throw that. Yeah, that's such a tough out to get. Same with Mr. Minkler here. On a delayed steal especially, like, that first baseman was kind of newer too, so we knew he wasn't going to talk a whole lot. A lefty pitcher. I wasn't here for these games. I was at a wedding in Kansas for my brother. But our normal third base coach, Cam, was at first base, and he just diced while I was gone. I mean, he was incredible. So it looks like we're going old school. First move shot. Takes that bag pretty clean. Really nice. Looks like the throw kind of got in the center there. Same thing, we got an old school setup. We can't really see the runner over here, but you can see it in the high home. He's safe in there. Yeah, I mean, just doing your homework, man. If you're well prepared, you don't have to really risk that too much. Here's a double steal from Conlon Daniel. I want you to watch this slide. Let me see if we get this. And I love the high home footage, but sometimes like the side angles help when you're trying to identify how players finish a play. You might not get the whole slide. I don't have the base in here. Watch how he goes in. This dude goes in flat, man. Like, he gets so much space on his slides, and he goes in hard. He's so hard to tag out. Even if the throw beats him, it's like he's pretty tough to throw out. There's a stolen base from Sam Gates. Now, he had that set up to where let me go back to this. He had this set up where he was planning on working new school, so he's trying to find a window for this pitcher. But to be honest with you, if he would have tried to hit a window here, he probably didn't have the time for the delivery time to home with how much space he could get. And so what he was doing was like, okay, I'm just gonna find my moment in terms of like sequencing and try to rip it on a breaking pitch. At least that's the conversation we had after. And he went on a fastball up, and so he was thinking it might have been a curveball down, and they went fastball up, which is a tough pitch to get away with. But I mean, he just burns and he slides well, so that helps. Here's another shot at third. Safe at third. I think that's Minkler, the way he slid in. All right, here's new school from, let's get this over to right-hand pitcher open. I think this is Joey Barron. Yeah. No, this is Christian Reyna. He's from Messiah College, and he's an absolute stud, man. Kid picks it and just gets on base. So he had been introduced to new school techniques. I think they do it at Messiah. But he hadn't played for about a month before, maybe 2 months before coming to us. So we had tried to refresh as much as we could. But we had a lot of experimenting in game, and that's what you're seeing here. So that was like an A jump from 6 feet, which is not what you want. And dude, man, just gets absolutely canned. And this is early in the game. We had a lot of leverage. I think this was like an 8-1 game. And I remember talking to him in between innings. And I was like, hey, man, like, be patient. Like, you've got more pitches to steal on. Don't force it. You're going to get your shot off. And here's Joey Barron kind of demonstrating what I mean by patience. Now, I'd love him to be a little bit taller here in his initial setup and less swingy with his arms in terms of the rhythm he's making. But he hits this so clean. I mean, that's a guy, if you get him in motion, he's really hard to throw out too. That's a really good bag from Joey. That throw got away to center, I think, too. Here's an old school shot from Colin. You can't really see him in the frame because he gets like a 13-foot lead. He's just, dude's automatic. Double steal scenario, not a great jump there. Definitely not a good enough. You get thrown out at third. Definitely not a good enough jump without protection in the right-handed box. Like, our footage is okay. We could probably get more. Our follow footage is great. Our follow guy is in a really good spot here. But I think by the time that ball's being delivered, you need to be out here at least, maybe even more. And then if you are going to get beat by this much, it can't be a feet first slide. It looks like we go in feet first pretty clean. Maybe trying to create some space on a swim move. That's like an emergency slide scenario is what I would think. But again, that's a guy who stole 21 bases for us this year. So he's been pretty surgical. First and third, working new school here. Again, we had some leverage at this point in the game also. This is after Christian kind of took off from his short initial lead. And so next time he got on base, the conversation was like, hey, we're going to try this again. Be patient. Find the timing. Then first pitch, he ends up pulling this out. Hits his timing super clean. Has the bag really easy, no throw. He's a gamer, man. He figures his stuff out really well. There's a bag from Colin Daniel. Again, you see that slide. We don't have very many angles of this game, or some of the synergy cameras weren't up. But watch the space this dude creates. Like, you can't see it so much from this angle, but like that's an arm's length away, and he's going in hard. Like his whole momentum swings him around. I don't know how he does it. I feel like Mike Labram would be in pain. First and third, delayed steal. First and third delayed steal. We knew these guys would try to make a cut play. And so the goal was, let's try to make that throw happen from the dirt. And so if we steal right away, that shortstop's going to come up into the grass. But if we can get to the delay, they're going to go to the base first. Or he's not going to have time to get to the grass. And so if we see that ball airborne, we can take off at third base. And that's what we saw here. And so just forced them to make a really, really tight play. And that wasn't a great break by Jalen at third, but it ended up working out. And then same scenario here. I think this is the same inning. I didn't think it was this close in game. I want you to watch for this ball. The middle infielder throws this ball. This is like half an inch from this pitcher's face. It's another delay. It's another delay steal. And again, you can see we don't have a middle infielder able to get up too tight. And so this delayed steal, our runner stopped because our second baseman's cutting into the shortstop. And so he can't really tell if this guy's going to receive and tag or if he's going to go for the play at home. So he's going to shut himself down early, which is why you won't see him until later in the frame. But again, like, this ball looks like it's going to hit this guy in the face. I mean, that was really close. And then we ended up getting safe at Sam Gates. Great slider, knows how to finish plays, has good reads. So he was able to get in there safe. It's an old school shot from Colin. Again, that's that slide. This guy, if there's someone I could use as like a example for how to finish a play, it's this guy. Like, I want to frame by frame this and put it in like a slideshow for my next group. I mean, he just goes in hard, creates space, knows when to slide. I mean, he's impressive. This is a window vault by Joey Pagano. I talked to him after. I was like, hey, did you have like a breaker sequence or did you pick up a sign? He goes, no. He said, I felt like I hit my window and went. I think he probably would have had a close play if it was a fastball. But he hit it pretty clean for a breaker, and with the ball being in the dirt, there's just no shot there. That's Matthew Minkler going new school. I mean, he's so hard to throw out, man. He's unreal. This catcher pops like a really good pop time, too. Good throw. This second baseman knew there was no shot. That's another really good slider as well. There's Mink again. Knows when to go feet first, right? If that guy's late to the bag, that helps going feet first if he's behind you. Create a bigger frame. Old school shot from Colin Daniel. He actually ends up getting thrown out here. I don't know. Let me switch the angle here. You can't really see right-handed pitcher open. Let's go center field. You might be able to see a little bit here. But normally Conlon has this easy. This throw is on the money. I think he might have still got in there. Can't really see the base, though, is the problem. But, I mean, that throw was on the money. The time to tag was not much. This shortstop tags really fast. I just don't know if the tag got on him. But, yeah, that was a good shot. I think it was like 0-0 first inning. So, he's going to take his shots in those moments. But here we got a first move shot on a lefty. This catcher is good, man. He had some really good throws. There's Matthew Minkler again, another good slider. Just knows how to finish the play. Let's see this. Let's go to, oh, we don't have right-handed pitcher open. That's okay. Well, we're watching high home here. This looks like Minkler at first if Conlon's up. New school. Oh, and he just takes off, right? So we can tell here he's fully broke to second. Pitcher hasn't moved. This is a very over-aggressive scenario. I mean, he's still running. The pitcher just moves now. He's out to 21 feet at the pitcher's first move, which is unreal. But I think this is a guy, like, as he starts to develop and get more comfortable on the bases, I don't know how I would throw him out. I mean, his return times are so good. His instincts are incredible. It's just every now and then like this, he'll get over aggressive, and that's where he can run into trouble. But I mean, he was unreal for us this summer. Just walked into second. Yeah, not necessarily the reps we're looking for, but not a bad shot. Here's Dom camera, and so I think this might have been Dom's first game with us, and so he had heard all this base stealing stuff, and we'd worked on it a little bit pregame. So a couple things we talked about after this. One, his footage. I think he was at like a 12-foot lead. So he had taken his right, left, right shuffle settle and then used that at second as well. We want to be out to 15 to start, working out to, at least 18, hopefully 20, 21 feet with momentum as we hit this. So in terms of timing, it's really not awful. It's just the footage was pretty bad. I think the technique can be a little bit more loud. Like it was kind of passive in his shuffle move. You see what I'm saying? Like there's not a whole lot of ground gain there. And didn't really give him so much of a boost. I mean, it was a heck of a slide at third base. I want to see this finish. Oh, I don't think we have it. Man, this game had no camera angles. It was a good shot. I think we had some leverage there, so I don't mind him taking that shot and trying to test out a new system. If you can see here the difference between where Dom was and where Conlon is. Conlon's starting at like 15 feet here, right? There's momentum. So we'll watch that again from from the center field. Watch the body. He's looking for a window. Shuffle out, hits his window, and again, Conlon's a guy who doesn't need much momentum. Like you won't see him get crazy lateral, especially at second base, because his footage is already going to be so big. His return times are unreal, back to second and back to first. So I've not seen him get picked off at second base ever. So with what he needs to steal bases, like it's a layup. And so even watching how he slides in to third here, I guess you can watch it on the screen on the right. The depth he gets when he slides just goes in super hard. I mean, the speed at which we slide into bases, I feel like is underrated, right? And the space that we create, we want to create as much space between us and where the ball is, right? So the flatter we are, the better. Problem is, the flatter we are, the more friction you get on the ground and you go in slower. So hard late slides, head first, play really well. And people don't think of a head first slide as something that needs to be done like hard and late into the bag, but I'm telling you, with these guys, I mean, it played really well. Sam Gates taking a shot at third, ends up being safe. That ball gets away into left field. We had a small collision at third base there, but both guys were all right, which is good. Let me see here. Let me switch this camera angle. Ooh, they didn't have right-hand pitcher open. No worries. We'll go to broadcast. Right-handed pitcher, not crazy quick to the dish. First and third scenario. We're going to be pretty aggressive in these spots. Again, we got a little bit of a wonky frame here. But if you watch the high home on the right, you see this is RJ. RJ hits a pretty clean new school lead. Goes in feet first, though. So we had this clock that's like, RJ, if you hit this new school, you got this easy. Catcher popped like a 192, which was pretty impressive. But I think if RJ goes head first to the outside corner of the bag, he's probably safe. It's just going feet first. And I know it's framey when we watch it back. It's just so much easier to tag that space, and especially with the throw being about on the base there. That's a tough one to pull off. Right-handed pitcher. Stolen base attempt of second. We'll watch this again. I'm sure if it's Jalen, we're going new school. You can watch the body here. It's a little framey. Yep. New school lead. Not his best, but it was good enough to steal the bag. Goes in head first because he knew it was going to be close. Let's see. There's another one that Jalen hit new school. I think he got thrown out on. It was better than that. Here's a double steal. Tries to split the runner at second. We end up being safe. Great slide by Sam in the third. Good time to run. Here's an old school shot by Colin Daniel. Again, you see the difference between a head first slide, right? So, again, on the broadcast, it's a little framey on the left, but I mean, those throws are pretty similar. I know the timing's a little different, but going in head first creates so much more length to try to tag. New school lead by Jalen, hits it really clean, but this catcher puts it on the money. And again, that was framey too. We had, let me see if we get the center field cam there. I'm hoping the base is in this. No. We had one of our photographers get a really good picture. His hand got in there, but it was a heck of a play. It was kind of a coin flip call for the umpire, so I don't hate it. Let's go to right-handed pitcher open now. There we go. Colin Daniel again. This guy was a banshee for the second half of the summer on the bases. I mean, he just figured his stuff out. Pretty easy stolen base there. This is him stealing third. But this is a weird steal. So, like, the ball kicks away, but for whatever reason, the catcher decided to throw it to third. Yeah, just odd. This is Braden Smith, and he was so mad after this, and I get why. Man, this dude has worked so hard to get stolen bases, and he's always finding the right opportunities. And they kind of open this up for him, so he kind of walks into his momentum when it comes to, like, just his break, and he times it up really well. The problem is when he goes to finish the play, he goes feet first instead of head first, so then they tag him on the head, and you can watch it on the throw. This throw's super high. So the throw's here, up high, his head's here, they tag him on the head. Umpire calls him out. And so then you think back to what Colin Daniel was doing when he would slide, or Sam Gates when they would slide, and the distance between where you would have to go to tag, and it would be a free base. But I think that's one of the things that he's going to take with him, where it's like the finish of the play is so much more important than we think. The expansion of the window of time to tag is valuable, and so if we can find ways to manipulate that in our favor, it's going to be big, especially for those like coin flip kind of guys like Braden. Old school shot. That's Thomas Schreck, first move lefty, hard head first slide. He's in there safe at second. New school shot from Sam Gates, hits that really clean. High throw, down to second. We'll watch this one more time. This guy's a banshee, man. He's so good at this new school stuff. Boom, hits it clean. Really good slide in the second. We'll watch that slide from a different angle too. Let me see if we have our center field cam on the base. We do. Watch how this guy slides. I mean, just head first, creates space. Think about a feet first slide here. First of all, feet first slides are going to be a little bit slower anyway, right? So whatever his time to second is, let's take like 0.04, is that hundredths? Whatever, of his time off. Or I guess add it to it. I mean, the length from time to tag, he's not at the base yet. The ball's beating him. But the hand getting in and the defender having to tag all the way down here instead of to a shoulder here, it changes the way the umpire sees the play. I mean, that's just, it's really, really good. It's fun to watch from him. That guy's surgical with his stuff on the bases. Here's an old school shot from Joey Pagano. Actually, that's a delayed steal. Got the catcher a little bit off balance. We'll watch that again. It's a really good sell from Joey. Sees the catcher go to flinch. Our runner knows he's not going. Works back in. It's a shot at third base. That's a window shot. Double steal. Couldn't quite tell you why that catcher didn't make a throw. Let me see if we can get this from our center field cam. Yeah. So that's really good from Jalen. So what Jalen's doing, he's trying to get momentum out to that 21-foot mark. He's pretty far out. He's at least 18 feet here at the time he's making his move. He's trying to get momentum out to the essentially like a 21-foot mark at the pitcher's like window of no return. So he needs to be in the air while that pitcher's leg lift is still developing, to where as Jalen's starting his descent, he can see if that pitcher's going to be working back towards him at second base for an inside move or towards home plate. And so that's what he does here, and he hits it really clean. And he's able to get in. And I think with a guy like that, with a guy who's that quick to the dish, because he was fast to the dish, it's a priority for a guy like Jalen to make sure his initial footage where he's at here is big. Like, if he's not big here, he doesn't get this bag, I don't think. So having expanded initial footage and getting them comfortable with you with that is super important on that kind of pitcher. We got an old school shot at first here. Let's take a look from this angle. Conlon again. I mean, the lead length from him is unreal too. Like, he can return from so many leads. There's a collision here too. Conlon actually went down. He got a knee to the head. All right, another old school shot from Conlon. Just no attempt. I mean, he had that pretty easy. Here's Thomas Schreck working new school. The camera, it looked like, fell down a little bit. Maybe some kids were playing with it or something. But I love the feet to be a little tighter here. The torso is a little low, little angled for me. I'd have to watch it from some of our other angles, but I want that there. That way the reach step doesn't feel so crawly. You know what I mean? It gives him a little bit more of a boost. Now he hits that really clean. He's able to get in there safe. But here's Conlon first and third. Decides to just rip it. Yeah, they're not gonna to waste a throw there. New school from Joey Barron. We saw him earlier working new school. He's a guy who really figured it out well. Hits it super clean. Goes to make the throw down to second, safe. Would have loved it if he took off on that with where the middle infielder caught that ball. But a little flinchy first move shot from Thomas Schreck. Not his best jump, but he was able to get in there safe. Not sure why this was called a stolen base. It definitely wasn't scored a stolen base for the league site, but yeah, that's just bad synergy editing. Here we go. Can't really see it from over here. Let's see if we can get the center field cam. Yeah, there you go. So Conlon Daniel, old school shot. Takes off. Really good slide. And again, you see that space he creates. Oh my gosh. This catcher's good too. Just a little bit on the wrong side of the bag, but that's so tough to tag him. We got a new school lead at first. Let me see if we can get this angle. Yeah, Thomas Schreck. This guy hit this well too. That's better with the feet. That's better with the posture. Super clean jump. Takes second there. We got two more here. Kevin Hager's trying to work new school. That was kind of like, first of all, his footage was extended a little far. He's probably like 7.5 feet with his left foot, maybe 8. And again, this is like an A jump from 7 feet. He ends up actually being safe here. I don't know how he pulled that off. I think it was the second baseman. Like, they didn't know who was covering. They just were standing there. But hey, sometimes you got to get away with stuff like that. Here's Alex Brazier working new school. He's a little late on the timing, but it was okay. Good enough for him because he's a pretty good mover. He's able to get in there safe. So, well, all right, guys, that's all she wrote. And again, if the other videos get uploaded, I'll share those with you guys for sure. But at the moment, that's all we got. And record-breaking season in Montpelier, Vermont, in terms of stolen bases. I think our final steal percentage was like an 84% success rate, so that's pretty high. So I'm pretty happy with that. Not very many pickoffs, which I thought there was going to be a lot, especially early. Like 6, 7 maybe. So pretty efficient, and they did a really, really good job from just understanding when to apply pressure and what it means to be an aggressive offense within the confines of like not being stupid. And I think that's a tough line to walk, especially like for younger players. I know as a younger coach, I didn't know where that line was. And I think these guys found that, which was pretty cool. So, yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to reach out. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.